Tonight on the podcast, ladies and gentlemen, Joe Biden, he is continuing pressing black people to come out and vote for him. So there was an article that was out in Bloomberg. Biden tells black voters he'll pick a progressive Supreme Court. Now, we're not asking for no Supreme Court justices, because look at the last one that we so-called got, right? Ketanji Brown Jackson, who is basically just an empty seat at this point, because the Supreme Court is dominated by the conservatives. And even if it was dominated by liberals on the court, they won't do nothing for black people. Let's call it what it is. So let's go through this and see what Biden is trying to throw at our lap, but he's not telling it to everybody else. Now Biden, told black voters that the balance of the Supreme Court was at stake in his November rematch against Trump, as he started to shore up is standing with a key part of his electoral coalition. He has no coalition. He has none. Y'all don't realize this man only show up every time it's time to vote? Where was this man the past 3.5 years in black communities? Where was he at in Philadelphia? Where was he at in Atlanta, Houston, Dallas? Where was he at? He has been nowhere around black people. He's been giving everybody else money. He's been prioritizing migrants in the black ran cities, right? Giving your resources, your tax dollars to migrants. But now he come back around voting time. It's time to get out there and save the Supreme Court. Forget the Supreme Court. We don't care about that. What has the Supreme Court ever really done for us in modern times? Not much or nothing. Now they say he was in Philadelphia highlighting student debt, voting rights, affirmative action, and abortion rights as areas where the high court conservative majority has negatively impacted the black community, casting support, of black voters as crucial to reshaping the court. Okay, the majority of black Americans don't have student loan debt. And the reason why people have student loan debt is because y'all lied. And what I mean, they lied. They lied and said, well, if you go to school and get a degree, you can get a good job and pay back your student loans. And what's happening constantly? People are going to school, getting degrees, and can't even get a job. So now you're stuck with $100,000+ worth of debt. Voting rights won't put a morsel of food in our mouths. Affirmative action, that doesn't benefit black people. That benefits white women. And abortion rights, why do we care about that? That has nothing to do with kitchen table issues for black Americans. Now, he said the next president, they're going to be able to appoint a couple of justices. He said, now I'll be, he made a little expletive there. He said, if in fact, we're able to change some of the justices when they retire and put in really progressive justice like we've always had, said, tell me that won't change your life. No, it won't. Because your so-called progressives are looking out for the folks. They're not looking out for black people. So no, sir, we don't care about your progressive anything. A progressive judge is the same thing like a conservative judge. They both serve the same people. It's the folks. They don't serve black America. Now, I say Biden's comments comes with the Supreme Court again facing increased scrutiny amid a controversy of Justice Samuel Alito. Now, Alito is under fire over his display of flags associated with far-right causes that flew over his homes in Virginia and New Jersey. The justice on Wednesday said he would not recuse himself from cases involving Trump and defendants accused of attacking the Capitol on January the 6th. It said Biden, assailed Trump, saying the presumptive Republican nominee was lying about his administration's record and pandering to black voters to gain their support, criticizing his rival for using neo-Nazi rhetoric and for questioning former President Barack Obama's citizenship. He says, let me ask you, what do you think he would have done on January the 6th if black Americans had stormed the Capitol? The exact same thing you would have done. The exact same thing. You and Trump are one and the same. Y'all not different. How you act like you're different? The only difference is Trump is up front with what he's going to do, and you lie. You double talk. You play a switcheroo. For example, you tell them black people you're going to have a police accountability commission, right? This is what you told black Americans. The moment you got elected, people asked you about that. Oh, I ain't got time to be worrying about that. I got to worry about COVID. I got to worry about this. I got to worry about that. See, Trump would up front just tell you, no, I'm not doing it. I respect Trump saying, no, I'm not doing it. Then you telling me or telling black America you're going to do it, get black America's hopes up, and then you straight lied. But the whole time you wasn't going to do it. You felt no different than Trump would have felt about it. That's the difference between him and you. He said, I don't think he'd be talking about pardons. Black folks wouldn't be worrying about getting pardoned because y'all would have shot black folk. Let's call it what it is. He said, this is the same guy who wanted to tear gas you as you peacefully protested George Floyd's murder. Y'all tear gassing people now at these college campuses. What are you talking about? You would do the exact same thing. And I said, Biden spoke and said at a raucous launch event for a new outreach effort to reach black voters, where his campaign will partner with organizations to promote voter education and registration, as well as strengthen voter protection efforts. As according to the campaign, the new push will also deploy surrogates to media outlets, particularly those owned or catered to black voters. Okay, well, I guarantee you his surrogates won't come over here. I guarantee they won't come. And if they come, I will talk to them. I won't shoo them away. No, the Biden surrogates are welcome to come on our platform. They are very welcome. Just like the Trump surrogates are welcome to come on our platform too. You can go tell them both sides I said that. Now I say improving his standing and say with black voters is a priority for Biden. And say who needs them to turn out in battleground states in November. It said black voters drove Biden to victory in 2020 with 92% support. It said according to Pew Research Center data, but in the May Bloomberg News Morning Council poll of voters across 7 swing states found Biden's lead over Trump among registered black voters at 68% to 21%. That softening support has been driven by disappointment with progress on issues including student debt and voting rights. That's a lie. We don't care about student debt. We don't care about voting rights. Let me correct you, Bloomberg, what the problem is. This man has stacked migrants on top of black people and took resources away from black people. He's made migrants more of his platform than black Americans who stood in line and voted for him. Black Americans have no protection. Black Americans had to watch Biden sign an Asian hate crime bill and didn't sign nothing of that for black people. He could have added black folks on that same bill, and I would have gave him credit for it, right? He didn't do that. Black folks talking about reparations in the form of cash payments. We're watching Biden give billions of dollars to foreign nations, giving money to migrants, giving money to everybody that he can, but nothing for black Americans. Constant black Americans are gaslit. Black Americans are not getting helped on the jobs. He's not doing nothing when these states are attacking black people's rights. He's not doing a thing. He didn't do anything to overturn the 1994 crime bill, even at the federal level. He has the power to let everybody out that got locked up during that crime bill. He never did that. He won't even apologize for it. There's a whole lot of things that Biden has done to really piss off black people. Then he has the nerve to trot himself out now, right before the election, and say, hey, black people, I need you to do this. No. Go holler at the migrants. Go holler at the Ukrainians. Go holler at the Israelis. Go holler at all those people that you've been prioritizing. Go holler at them. Go holler at the Asian community. Go holler at them. Why isn't he in the Asian community? Why isn't he in Chinatown right now talking to them about voting? Well, so they're not going to vote? Why am I going to vote for you and everybody else benefit? Hell no. No. Then they continue to say that Biden's handling of the Israel-Hamas war and pocketbook issues. Now, pocketbook issues is one of the things too. But the Israel-Hamas war, that's maybe some people, but that's not everybody. They say in his speech, Biden touted economic gains for black Americans under his administration, saying the racial wealth gap was the lowest in 20 years because of his efforts, and that black small businesses were starting up at the fastest rate in 30 years. Said Biden has intensified efforts to court black voters in recent weeks, hosting a White House event celebrating the 1954 Supreme Court ruling to desegregate public schools, meeting representatives from black fraternities and sororities. We already know we talked about that. Why is he meeting fraternities and sororities? They're not our representatives. That's the boule. And speaking to the NAACP in Michigan, that's boule too. They don't represent us. But let's call it what it is. The reason why more black businesses actually got started during the time of the pandemic and all of that is not because of you. Black people, we know how to move and make business, and we did that during the pandemic. And let's tell the truth. A lot of black people never had access to capital until the pandemic. See, people like to talk about the negative side of PPP and EIDL, the scammers, but they don't talk about the positive side of it. The positive side is there was a lot of black businesses that never had access to capital, had got some access to capital through the federal government and actually boosted their businesses. Just that little bit they got through the SBA. Biden could do something like that if he wanted to right now. If you cared about black businesses, well, hell, give every black business $100,000 through the SBA. If you cared about black business, you know what I'm saying? So please stop. He hasn't done nothing through the SBA to help out black businesses, but during the pandemic, black businesses had access to money through the SBA. No, we're not going to sit up here and play the game with you. You keep on meeting with these fraternities and sororities and everybody coming out talking about how they are basically the occult, putting people through humiliation rituals and worshiping white goddesses and all that mess and gods. So what you meeting with them for? Nobody care about the boule. They have no respect in black America because they're constantly being exposed every day. You don't want to talk to the grassroots. Your even surrogates are not going to talk to the grassroots. You're going to talk to Joy Reid. You can go talk to Joy Reid on your own, right? Joy Reid is compromised. She's on MSDNC. They don't have the courage. Listen, a Trump surrogate would have more courage to come talk on this platform than a Biden surrogate would. I can tell you that much. And like I said, I welcome them both because I'm going to have the same questions for both. But don't let Biden sit up here and trick y'all and put it on y'all, the Supreme Court. Oh, we got to do something about the Supreme. No, we ain't got to do nothing. The same way you prioritize us during your administration, it's the same way we need to prioritize you election day. That's all. You understand? You can't pull from an empty well, and that's what you're trying to do. You didn't pour nothing into the well, Biden. So you should get out the election with the black community saying what you put into our well. Nothing. You can go. Black folks should not waste their time with you because you didn't do anything for black Americans. Go holler at the Asians. Go holler at the migrants. Go holler at the Ukrainians. Go holler at all the people in Israel you gave money to and you constantly giving money to. Go holler at all those people. Tell them to go vote for you. Leave us alone. Any self-respecting black person would be offended that he's constantly coming in our face and then do nothing for black Americans. Go holler at the Asian community. You have a right to go holler at them. All of them should come out and vote for you en masse. And yet you won't holler at them? Nah, bruh. Leave us alone. You didn't do nothing for us, so I'm definitely not voting for you.